Phonics Instruction in Rhyming for First Graders. Literacy Coaching for First Grade Teachers. This video presentation is provided as a professional development for first grade teachers for teaching first graders in phonics instruction. Virginia's Standards of Learning SOL 1.4 will be covered, and this is SOL objective for first graders in English Language Arts. SOL 1.4a states students will create rhyming words, and SOL 1.4b students will count phonemes, sounds in one-syllable words. This professional development video is providing guidance for first grade teachers so that they can teach these two objectives effectively. Importance of phonics instruction cannot be gainsaid. Phonics instruction helps with reading because it is necessary for helping students to decode conscientiously and consciously. Phonics helps with letter-sound correspondence, and another way to describe letter-sound correspondence is phoneme-grapheme link. An essential element of phonics instruction is helping students to discriminate between phonemes in a word and associate them with their written counterpart, alphabets. One-syllable words can be divided into onset and rhyme. Onset is the first phoneme, and rhyme is the latter phonemes, and they can be separated or segmented and blended in a phonemic exercise. And the onsets can be replaced as well. So there is phoneme replacement exercise that can be executed with this lesson. Using corresponding printed letters can help with reading fluency. And reading fluency is defined as reading accurately and automatically. When introducing this lesson to first graders, the teacher can motivate the students to learn by raising curiosity among the students. One way that the teacher can do this is by wearing a cat hat with a cat face or cat design, and holding a cat stuffed animal. First graders will be thinking, oh, why is the teacher wearing that hat with a cat on it? And some students will be asking themselves or raising hands to get a response from the teacher. Why is the teacher holding a stuffed animal that is a cat? And the teacher can excite the students further by introducing the lesson with the words, meow, meow. When I get scratched by a cat, I say, ow, ow. And students can have wide-eyed curiosity regarding what the teacher is doing, and this will motivate the students to be more focused. And the teacher can show that meow and ow are rhyming words. They share the rhyme. Ow. Obviously, when preparing for this SOL lesson, the teacher needs to prepare and be intimately acquainted with the content being delivered, and method of delivery. And there are some resources that can help first grade teachers prepare for effective lesson delivery. And some of the materials can be found on the internet, and I'm recommending a material that can be found for free that can be used specifically with this lesson and actually with other lessons using onset and rhyme and rhyming analogy to advance vocabulary and reading comprehension and decoding skills. And the link that I would like to provide is here. The Measured Mom. And I'm going to go to the link right now. And you can see that this website, The Measured Mom, provides tools for teaching. And there are free books. So there are 7 word family mini books. And you can see that one of them is add. So cat can be used with this word family at. And at is a rhyme. So latter part of the one word syllable cat that is described as a rhyme that will be attached to a beginning phoneme called onset. So you can see how this book is arranged and how an onset of H can be added to the rhyme of AM, am. And so this can be done with at family as well, which cat belongs to. And here we can see that here's an at family, and that's the rhyme. An onset phoneme of R can be matched with at, a ret. So there are some instructions on how you can actually prepare these phonics instruction books. And that will be very helpful to you. The best part is that they're free and they're good. You can also get some guidance from the internet. There are several YouTube videos and other videos in the internet that can provide you with direction on how to deliver this instruction to your first grade students. And I found the video that is very helpful for teaching the at family. And so I'm going to go to that video right now. I'm going to click on this link. And we can watch the video together. As you can see, this video is very good. It's short, but very effective, and it can help you deliver your lesson effectively. In a sense, it kind of models for you how to present the onset and separately present the rhyme, and then blend them together into one word syllable. Obviously, engaging students is very important, and I would recommend that you have writing journals for students and have students write the rhyming family of words on their writing journals and draw pictures. And you can decide at which point you have the students do this within your lesson delivery. You can show them videos or not show them videos. That's obviously something that you can plan on your own. But having the students write on their writing journals is an effective way to have students practice the phonics instruction that you are delivering to them. This can be done individually or in groups, but each student should draw something and write something in their own writing journal so that they can refer back to it, and also the process of writing helps them remember more effectively. When you're delivering instruction, you can put up the @ sign on the classroom board and then put C at the front to make cat, and use think aloud strategy and say, wow, these two sounds make the word cat. I wonder what other words can be made with at the end. And then you can have students come up and pick up an alphabet letter and put it together with at and think aloud about the word. So you can model think aloud for students, and then have students come up and demonstrate the think aloud strategy with you. And so this activity can happen before the writing journal. That's probably better. But depending on the progress of your students and your understanding of their development, you can actually do this after the student group activity as well. The advantage of delivering this before the student individual activity using writing journal is that the writing journal activity becomes a reinforcement activity. But there is an advantage of delivering the whole group instruction using the board after the students have their individual or group activity with writing journal. It allows the students to work independently and venture out and struggle to problem solve. And so bringing them together after they have written things down in writing journal and providing corrective instruction will show them where they were right and where they were wrong, and it may contribute to their metacognitive process in understanding their own work in relation to what is correct. Integrating student writing using technology is always a good idea, because multiple literacies are here to stay, and students, even in first grade, should be assisted in the utilization of technology for literacy purposes. iPad and tablet writing with pictures for online class studio is a good idea. What I mean by that is if students can access tablets that allow them to write, then students can write a story using at family of words that they have just learned on their tablets and draw pictures for their story. And so their story using the at family of words can be uploaded to Class Portfolio Studio, created by the English Language Arts teacher, the LPU, first grade teachers. And this will allow the parents to look at the stories, and they can even look at them with their children at home, and they can be shared with relatives and friends, and even published for a wider audience on the internet. Students can have pride in the story that they have created themselves, and this will further motivate them to develop as writers. And project-oriented activity is good because that kind of seasons the students into understanding that there is purpose for education, and so it will help them develop intrinsic motivation for learning as well as extrinsic motivation. Homework is also a very good way to help students reinforce what they have learned in the classroom and at school. And it is a good idea to integrate arts into the education. English language arts should not be just seen as a discipline separated from other disciplines, but if we can integrate music, art, fine arts, and performative arts, theater, into English language arts instruction, that will help students develop more holistically, and the integration of different disciplines will help them become better students in 21st century, and better problem solvers and better communicators. So it is a good idea for a teacher to assign homework that will help students to develop their communication, arts, and problem-solving skills. So the students who have shared the story through the classroom portfolio can be assigned homework to produce a one-person skit based on the story that they have written, and then they would perform that skit that they have prepared at school in front of the class. This will help them develop communication skills and public speaking skills. And it will also be a good opportunity for the children to work with their parents to prepare for this homework and to deliver it in the classroom. And first grade teachers can invite parents to come to the classroom as visitors to participate in performance delivery of stories. And that could be a fun activity for parents, and it can help the parents become active stakeholders in their children's education. And that is always a positive thing. Teachers in the first grade must recognize that prosody is a part of reading instruction. Prosody is tone and inflection, and so students can use tone and inflection as necessary in the context of the text. And obviously this will be different for narrative texts or expositional texts or persuasive texts, and teacher can kind of guide students in that direction as well eventually. And so encouraging students to be sensitive to prosody can help with fluency and automaticity. And writing stories, reading it out loud for their parents, writing a skit and performing it in front of the class, these will all encourage prosody because Unlike reading, when you're acting in front of your classmates, students will understand that they need to kind of talk to their classmates, and so they can make an easier transition from kind of a reading performance that is done on an individual level to talking performance, and so this will help with development of prosody. Prosody is important because it is also linked to spelling and rhyme. And so we see how phonics instruction is integrally related to prosody and spelling and rhyme and phoneme discrimination. There are other ways to integrate technology. More technology is always better, as long as it is aligned with the lesson objective and content area mastery. One of the technology resources that you can use is Google Drive and Google Docs. Google Drive is a good way to share documents and files for the whole class and with other teachers and parents. And the Google Drive can help students and parents review what the students have written, and this is a good way to track growth and development over time. Teachers can help students set up Google accounts or provide instructions for parents to set up Google accounts. And students can be taught how to access their Google account. Teachers can model for parents and teachers, such as during parent-teacher conference or any kind of classroom session where parents can be invited as well, in the use of Google technology. You can also utilize classroom internet blogging as a way to encourage student independent participation. And among the group of resources that is provided by Google, you have Blogger that you can use that can be accessed through their Google accounts. It is important also as educators to think about the underlying literary theory behind what you are teaching. So phonics instruction is very important, but you must ask yourself as an educator, why? Teachers should be self-reflective educators and always engage in metacognition to become better at instruction. And being tapped into research related with reading instruction is necessary for elementary school teachers who are engaged in teaching literacy, reading, writing, listening, and speaking. A very important literacy theorist is Philip B. Gough, and he postulated the simple view of reading, in which he argued that reading is decoding times comprehension. So reading is represented by the letter R, decoding is represented by letter D, comprehension is represented by letter C. So the formula, a mathematical formula for Philip B. Gough's a simple view of reading is R equals D times C. Reading equals decoding times comprehension. Philip Gough separated decoding and comprehension and stated that they have to be addressed separately, although they are integrally related. He further postulated that students may have problem decoding, and this should be seen as dyslexia, and that can be corrected through formative instruction. So he discouraged labeling students as special education or having learning disabilities because they have decoding difficulties. It may be that when phonics instruction is delivered effectively, student who is struggling with decoding will no longer struggle with decoding. And so, in effect, Philip Gough's literacy theory places the burden of education on teachers and not to dismiss students who are struggling with decoding as having learning disabilities. Rhyming and phonemic exercises are important for decoding and comprehension because at the end they are linked. So when you use rhymes, word families, and phonemic exercises of segmenting, blending, replacing phonemes, this directly impacts and helps decoding process. And obviously when you're teaching students, add family of words as cat, bat, and other words in this family. This analogous exercise helps to develop vocabulary skills in students. And so the phonemic exercises that are being delivered through this lesson will help with both decoding and comprehension. It is important for students to have their needs met through different modes of instruction. Thus, differentiation of instruction is important and necessary. There are students who are better learners through movement, and we call them kinesthetic learners. And so you can provide student activity that involves movement for students who learn the best this way. One way you can do this is by having students wear an alphabet and walk around the room to form words such as C-A-T, cat. So these letters also represent phonemes that need to be blended. So phonemic blending exercises with these alphabets that provide visual representation can assist in letter sound correspondence and decoding. After the students stand in front with the word formed, you can have each student sound out the alphabet they are wearing and the corresponding phoneme. And you can have students in the whole classroom repeat that in a choral form. And this will help students learn and remember the phonemes and the phonics instruction more effectively. There are also visual learners, so students who learn better by viewing rather than through movement. One way you can assist these students is to record kinesthetic activities in the classroom and play these recordings back for the students or upload these videos on the class website and allow students to download them. Maybe you can create a YouTube channel for your classroom. And so visual learners can watch the videos again and again, and this will help them solidify their understanding of what they have learned through the phonics instruction. There are also socio-economic factors that are important, especially in schools with difficulties on the economic front. There are Title I schools that have challenges that non-Title I schools do not have. And poverty is an essential factor that must be factored into lesson preparation and instruction delivery. Students in poverty areas may struggle more with literacy attainment than students in non-poverty areas. And this can be due to several factors. In poverty areas, students may not have the kind of home reading support that students in non-poverty areas may have. And there may also be lack of community support and community resources to support students and families. So if you are teaching at an unaccredited school or a Title I school, it is important to try to engage stakeholders at the communal level who can assist you in literacy delivery, such as churches or community centers, recreation centers, other clubs, maybe even sports clubs. Trying to get stakeholders from the community involved, especially in poverty areas, is a good way to make up for the deficit and reach equity and education. Phonics instruction is an important instructional strategy and educational philosophy, not only in America but in many other countries. In particular, England or Britain, Great Britain, emphasizes phonics instruction and it mandated phonics instruction for all of its government-run schools. Evidence-based research presents that this is helping with literacy advancement in Great Britain. There are opposing forces to phonics instruction, and that should be mentioned. And one in particular should be highlighted, and that is whole language instruction, which Kenneth Goodman forwarded as a scholar. And for Kenneth Goodman and proponents of whole language instruction, they argue that reading and writing should be a natural process like speaking. So they encourage use of authentic literature and a natural and non-explicit way of teaching reading. There are proponents for this position in the United States. Although in many cases, even